Boris's wife Carrie Johnson claims PM's enemies targeting her in bombshell statement. Carrie Johnson has said she has been targeted by enemies of her husband as part of a brutal briefing campaign in a rare statement this evening. Boris Johnson's current wife and former Tory advisor insisted she plays no role in government. Her statement follows claims that she had been intervening on policy matters. Mrs. Johnson's role in decisions made by her husband has been explored in a new biography by Tory peer Lord Ashcroft, serialized in the Mail titles, which sought to look at her alleged influence. Lord Ashcroft claimed his research had suggested her behavior is preventing him, Mr. Johnson, from leading Britain as effectively as the voters deserve. A spokesperson for Mrs. Johnson said on Sunday, "Yet again Mrs. Johnson has been targeted by a brutal briefing campaign against her by enemies of her husband. This is just the latest attempt by bitter ex-officials to discredit her. She is a private individual who plays no role in government." It has been alleged that Mrs. Johnson has been caught up in a number of scandals involving the Prime Minister, including suggestions she pushed for the luxury redecoration of the flat the couple share in Downing Street, and was involved in evacuation of animals from Kabul. Number 10 has denied Mr. and Mrs. Johnson had any involvement in the evacuation. Speaking last week, Guido Harry, the newly appointed Director of Communications at Downing Street, said the episode raises that other spectre that never goes away of who is influencing him, Mr. Johnson, and we all know who's being accused of doing so on this occasion, because she is an animal lover more than him really. Asked if he was referring to Mrs. Johnson, he replied, "You said it, not me." Speaking on Times Radio Today, Sunday, Kwasi Kwarteng, the business minister, said, "The reportage that somehow she's got undue influence, I don't think that's true. The Prime Minister has been in politics for 25 years and has a pretty strong set of ideas." However, asked if there was an element of sexism in the treatment of Mrs. Johnson compared to spouses of former Prime Ministers, Mr. Kwarteng replied, "I wouldn't say that, but I do think it's interesting when the spouse is someone in their 30s and has got open positions that are well known. People feel free to criticize. I think that's interesting." Pressed on what he meant by interesting, he responded, "I don't think it's sexist. I'm not going to go down the route of saying it's sexist, but I'm saying her views are under scrutiny in a way that perhaps other Prime Ministers' spouses weren't." Journalist Sarah Vine, whose divorce from Michael Gove was finalized last month, said the criticism leveled at Mrs. Johnson was the equivalent of political slut-shaming. She told the BBC's Sunday morning program, "The trouble is, it's always the easiest thing to do to blame the woman, and the truth is far more complicated than that. If Boris Johnson has given Carrie too much access or too much leeway, that's sort of his fault. He is the person in charge. He is the Prime Minister." Ms. Vine added that the mental toll on her will be significant. Labour MP Jess Phillips has previously labelled criticism of Mrs. Johnson as sexist and ageist. Thank you for watching our videos. Subscribe to our channel to get notifications when we post newest videos. Thank you and goodbye.